Welcome back, everybody, to the Invest This Podcast 2.0, Wealth Mindset, where we talk to the elite in real estate investment to dive into their mind to see what separates them from the pack. I want to welcome back Josh Gaiman with us today. Josh, how are you, man?
I'm awesome, Scott, man. Glad to be on the show.
I'm getting really, really excited going into 2020. New decade, new time, new opportunities. So really pumped about that. How about you?
Absolutely. I keep forgetting that it is. We're starting a whole new decade. I always get pumped up this time of the year for, the next year, analyze what we've done this year, look at goals for the next year, the next quarter, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not only a quarter or a year this time, it's a full decade.
I really love this time because actually when this is going to go live, it's going to be a new decade. And that means a lot of different things, right? I think we can all reflect back on the last decade and see all the positives and hopefully all the negatives as well that's happened to you and where you've learned, right? I mean, so much of, and I struggle with this as well, it's just like every single day it's like I'm just pushing and I don't take any time to step back and really look at what happened before. What have I accomplished? What have I learned in the last amount of time? So hopefully, all the listeners that are going to listen to this podcast can kind of take a second and step back, and hopefully you have going into this new decade.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just saw something, I think it was this morning or last night on social media. It said like the average entrepreneur writes down their goals one time a year. I'd say the average person probably doesn't even do that. Right. But I find it's something to do at least monthly. And because those goals change constantly. As you get closer to your goals, your mind expands and you work towards bigger ones. And if you don't actually, envision that, it slows growth big time.
Let's talk about what that looks like for you, Josh. I mean, what does your goal setting look like and how does that affect what goes on in between your ears?
Yeah, man, I think it's everything. I mean, what I do is I have a letter. I write it to myself. Sean Terry actually taught me this years ago. Yep. Starts with writing a January letter, right? So to the listeners out there, they're listening to it right now. It's a perfect time. And Bob Proctor talks a lot about this too. If you're not familiar with Bob Proctor, look that guy up on YouTube. He's awesome. But basically, you'd write a letter to yourself as if it was January 1st, 2021, right? So you're going a year forward and you're saying, I'm so happy and grateful that this year XYZ happened. Right? And you talk about, imagine your perfect day and you put that into your letter. So this is what I'm doing in my business. This is what my relationship looks like. This is what my health looks like. This is what, I don't know what I'm missing. This is what my finances look like. Maybe it's passive income you're trying to build. This is what my balance sheet now looks like and what is cash flowing. And so that's where it all starts for me, is actually putting it into paper. And then from there, it's actually taking the time to focus on that vision a lot. And whatever it is that you're doing, you're seeing, you know what I mean? Not just what's happening right now, but you're seeing the future as if it's the present. And not only to where you're seeing it, but you're actually grateful for it as if it's already happened. That's true faith. And that's where you'll literally tap into a power that will explode your life and make things happen much, much faster, than they would just by, just putting in the work. It's easy, like, especially a lot of us, as entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever, to get so caught up into our to-do list. And I got to do this, this, and this. But it's super important to not only take a step back and think about why we're doing all these things and where we're going, but to actually think about when we get there, what's that going to look like? What's that going to feel like, so that our body actually and our mind actually feels that. A lot of people think it's take action, then get results. Then once I have the results, I'll feel how great it'll feel to have those results. And that's totally backwards. You got to tap into how it's going to feel when you have those results, right? And then that's actually going to kind of like an auto, like on an airplane where they type in where they're going, and the plane just kind of takes them there. It's the same thing. Tap into that vision and feel what it's going to feel like when you're there, and the world will bring to you. It'll take you there. The opportunities will come. The challenges that you need to come will come, whether they open new doors or close doors or whatever, and they'll deliver you to where you're looking to go. And if you're truly doing that, it's not as easy as it sounds. And sometimes it sounds kind of like woo, you know what I mean? But if you practice it, it gets easier and easier, and you will feel your mind expand, and you'll start to see the world change around you.
Sounds good, man. Well, Josh, appreciate you being here, man. Always good to chat. I'm sure you'll be on here again. So for all you listeners out there, thanks for being here. And, have yourself a phenomenal rest of the day.